What's up, y'all? Welcome back. Welcome back. Today, I'm here with 3 book reviews. Low key 2.5, but we still gonna say 3. We're gonna say 3. Okay, so the first one, I'll just do this one. It's a book that I read with my son. We have our own book club together. And this one is Elijah of Buxton by Christopher Paul Curtis. If you read The Watsons Go to Birmingham, if you read Bud Not Buddy, it's the same author. We read those 2 books last year. But yeah, this is a book about Elijah. He's an 11-year-old and he lives in Canada in like a community of runaway slaves. And it just talks about like you get to see him with his friends, you get to see him at school, you get the adult conversations to him, trying to explain themes of freedom to him and trying to explain to him why that matters, trying to keep his head on straight. He deals with some crooked adults, you know what I mean? And yeah, you get to see like this cute little friendship between him and his friend. I really enjoyed this. My son enjoyed it. We had our own little conversation about it, and he was talking to me about how, there's sometimes like you as a kid you don't understand why adults tell you to do what you do, so it's kind of good that they took the time to explain it. His mom kind of gave him an idea of what's going on and why. So yeah, I thought it was good. To me, it's a middle grade book. Let me see how many pages it says. It was a little thick. Let's see, 342 pages, but still good. It took us about a month to get through this together. Good book. Okay, the next book is Frying Plantain. This is a coming of age story. It's by a Canadian born Jamaican, and that's who the main character is. The main character is growing up. She's Jamaican, she's in Canada, and there's this heavy theme of identity and wanting to be connected to your roots and culturally Jamaican, but also culturally Canadian. How that looks, how that meshes together and does it. It talks about, like I said, it's her coming of age story. So it kind of goes into detail about her dating for the first time, her relations with her mama, how she views her dad. And it's what I like about this, it's heavily like including her grandma. So the main character, her grandma and grandpa's in here. And it talks about like their marriage. It talks about her adult mother's relationship with her grandma. And like, it really made me think about seeing your mom as a daughter too, and being able to like see that dynamic and try to make sense of it all. And then it talks about how food can be a connector, how it can bring people together. How sometimes that's the role that it takes, and is passed down. It's sometimes the bridge that can close that gap between one generation to the next. So it was a good book. You think you get a lot of like that teenagey kind of drama. You get a lot of the main character like trying to figure life out, thinking that she know everything, what teenager doesn't, and stuff like that. But I actually really enjoyed it. I really liked this book. I did. Yeah. Round Plantain. And lastly, this book, it's The Trees by Percival Everet. This book right here, I actually asked one of my Instagram friends. I asked her because I know she really likes to read Percival Everet books, and I had only read James at this point. So I said, well, I want to read another one of his books. Which one should I read next? I read James. What should I read next? And hands down, she said, you should read The Trees. So I did. And it was great. It was heartbreaking. It had the same like satire that Percival Everet used when he wrote James. It had that same kind of wittiness. It had like some similar types of comedy. It's not a comedy. It's not comedic like that. But some of the wit and satire can come across as comedic at times. It had the irony that you were used to seeing in James. I feel like if you like James, you would like this as well. I did. She was right when she told me to read this book. What's this book about? It's about some Mississippi detectives trying to solve a case that does not make sense. It seems like, let me see. I'm trying to make sure. Okay, there are a series of murders going around in this Mississippi. Money, Mississippi. That's the name of the town. There is a series of murders going on in Money, Mississippi, but they all have a similar element that don't make sense. And these detectives got brought in to try to solve the mystery of the crime. And it doesn't make sense. You get this old lady. She's involved in it. You got to see how. You get like these other detectives. You got to see how they involved. You get the townspeople who have been there for decades and their involvement. And you just get to see like it unfold. It's a mystery and a thriller, but it's very much literary too. It very much is like still literary. It has like Percival's great writing. Like you just can't escape that. It's very interesting. Mama Z was an interesting character. That's the old lady who's about 100 years old in here. Very interesting character. In a few months, like it catches you off guard and you think you understand where it's going, but then you also get to a point where you like, dang, this is where we at. Like this is very, very interesting. It is. And not for nothing. I don't know. Does this matter? Let me see if it's on here. This might not matter, but I actually really like the font in this book. I don't know why. To me, it's so clean and modern, yet not modern. It's like Times New Roman, but slightly more modern, but it's clean and it's light. I don't know. I like the font of this book. But yeah, The Trees by Percival Everet. And then it's a little grim, but you know, like, I thought it was a great book. Definitely will be reading more Percival Everet. And that's just it for today. It's just a quick video going over these three. I had them on my windowsill for a while. I wanted to get my review in. Like I said, this was from my kids' book club with me. Next, we're reading Where the Red Fern Grows. We're actually starting it in a couple days because we got to do like a pre-read activity first, but we're starting in a couple of days. I like this book. I already know he's never read it. I already know it was one of my more well-liked books when I was younger, so excited to get through that. But yeah, y'all, that's it. If you read any of these, let me know what you think, and I'm gonna see you on the next one.